Kto zapewne nas zna, naszą firmę ATAS, ten wie, że specjalizujemy się w wyjazdach językowych, a właściwie specjalizujemy się w turystyce młodzieżowej i językowej, organizujemy obozy i kursy językowe za granicą i współpracujemy z międzynarodowymi szkołami językowymi i jedną z takich szkół jest właśnie King's Education. Dzisiaj gościmy wyjątkowego gościa, a mianowicie Paul Riddle ze szkoły King's. Uczyłam się, jak powinnam wymawiać, właściwie jest Paul Riddle, tak? Is correct now? Okay.
Close enough.
Miło tutaj gościć Paula. Mamy również tutaj z nami Dorotę Rzepniewską, kierowniczkę Biura Wyjazdów Językowych. Cześć Dorotka.
Dzień dobry Państwu, witam wszystkich.
Zanim przejdziemy sobie dalej, chciałabym jeszcze powiedzieć 2 słowa o naszym programie dzisiejszego spotkania. Więc na początku Paul zaprezentuje ofertę szkoły King's. Kolejno będziemy mieć możliwość obejrzenia takiego wideo z taką prezentacją ośrodków nauczania w Wielkiej Brytanii i w Stanach Zjednoczonych. Kolejno czeka na Was quiz i tutaj wyjaśnię, na czym on będzie polegał. Podpowiem już na początku, że quiz będzie trochę bazował na pytaniach opartych trochę o prezentację, które przygotował Paul, więc warto tutaj słuchać, co Paul ma nam do powiedzenia. Dodam również, że po zakończeniu jakby tutaj tego quizu będziecie mogli zobaczyć, ile punktów uzyskaliście i osoby, które uzyskają największą ilość punktów, otrzymają od nas nagrody w formie gadżetów ATAS oraz takich materiałów do nauki języka angielskiego. I po naszym webinarium ja już będę tutaj bezpośrednio kontaktować się z takimi osobami, będę miała informację, kto jak odpowiedział, więc będę się kontaktować w celu wysłania takich upominków z naszej strony. No i oczywiście na końcu znajdzie się czas na pytania od Was. Mam nadzieję, że Dorota i Paul będą mogli tutaj odpowiadać na Wasze pytania. Dodam jeszcze na koniec, że ze względu właśnie na naszego zagranicznego gościa prezentacja będzie głównie odbywać się w języku angielskim. Więc z mojej strony to jest tyle. Okay, I back to you, Paul. The floor is yours. It's time for you. Good luck.
Thank you, Izzy. Thank you, Dorota. So hello, everybody, and welcome from me, from Paul from King's. So yeah, don't worry about Izzy pronouncing my surname. My pronunciation of Polish names is terrible. So yeah, so I don't blame anyone pronouncing my name not very well. That's fine. So hi, everybody. So this part will be in English because my Polish doesn't exist. So if when I am doing it, if there is something that you don't understand, or if you think I'm speaking too fast, please do put a message in the chat box and Izzy or Dorota can wave at me and tell me to slow down or to repeat something if I'm not very clear. Okay, so hopefully that's all okay with you, and we'll have a nice presentation, talk a little bit about King's and some really exciting opportunities for you to spend in your summertime, if that's okay. So as we said, we're going to talk a little bit about King's today. Just to give you a little bit of background about King's and who we are and what we do. So King's is a well-known school in the United Kingdom and in the United States. And we've been working for more than 60 years with students coming to study with us from literally all around the world, coming to study with us at various different programs. So those programs include things like King's English programs, so programs for students who are 16 plus coming onto the UK adult program. So we'll talk a little bit about that as well. Students who come and study university programs with us in the United States. So all of those universities that you may have heard of, places like UCLA, for example, we have students progressing to as well. So if you are interested, by the way, in any things like that, then please do mention to Dorota or Izzy at the end, and where they can contact you and go through these things in more details. King's Colleges, that's regarding high school programs in the UK. So if you are interested in coming to study or complete your high school in the UK, that's perfectly possible. And then the King's Summer, the King's Young Learner programs, which we're going to be primarily talking about today. So yeah, so we have a bit of a range of programs, and we help students in many, many different ways. One big advantage that we find for students when they come and study at King's is that, look, you might have come and done a junior program with us, but then later you might need English for work, or you might need, to go and study at university in the UK or the United States. And so it's really nice that you already know us and we already know you and can help you progress onto programs like that. Anyway, that's a little bit of a summary about King's in general, but here today we're going to talk about a few main programs that we're running this summer, which we hope will be really exciting and interesting for you. So primarily, let's start with the United States, where we have a couple of really exciting summer programs. So one of those is in New York at the College of Mount St. Vincent, and another one is at Pepperdine University in Malibu. So two really nice locations. So I'm sure you're quite familiar with where they are in the United States, but New York in the East Coast and Malibu there over on the West Coast as well. So those programs are primarily aimed at students between the ages of 10 to 17 or 12 to 17. So if you're within that age bracket, then you can definitely come on one of those programs. So to give you a bit of an introduction to each of those, so we are based at Pepperdine University in Malibu. And really, Malibu is everything you imagine, everything you can dream about. So where the university and the campus is, that is basically in the Malibu Hills. So there's lots of very famous celebrities who have houses really next to the university and very close to the university. You can see from the photo there how close it is to the Pacific Ocean. It's a beautiful place to be. Sunny 365 days of the year, more or less. So nice place, nice location, and not far from Los Angeles. So we'll talk about trips and things in a moment, but you'll spend a lot of time in Los Angeles and attractions around Los Angeles as well. So you kind of get the best of both worlds. You live in a beautiful place, but get to visit all the main tourist sites in the area as well. So being in Malibu, obviously one of the main attractions is the local beaches as well, which we can see a beautiful picture from there. It's always nice when the King's photographer, he always loves going to do photos in Malibu because the sun is out all the time in the beaches. But you'll see the campus there as well is a beautiful campus. Lots of Hollywood celebrities' kids actually go to university at Pepperdine. So I think that kind of says a little bit about the standard of location and standard of facilities. But so everything you can imagine, you can dream of there for Malibu. To give you a little bit of an idea about what the program looks like. So in Malibu, we do run what we'd describe as a kind of typical summer camp. So we have students coming from literally all over the world with us who will study 15 hours of English per week, but plus also have 3 full-day excursions per week to the most attractive destinations in and around Los Angeles and Southern California, Malibu area, for example. So to give you an idea here, we can see the timetable for the first week. So you can see things like a visit to Hollywood, visit to the Griffith Observatory, which is up on the hills there. On the 4th of July, we also have the Independence Day celebrations. And so we'll be celebrating that with you and other students from around the world as well. And then we also, on that following day, we also have lots of visits to things like Six Flags, which is a really, really big and exciting theme park as well. You'll also see there are English lessons built into the program there. There's also one afternoon of activities per week. So it gives you there the example of basketball, swimming, Zumba, but there will be a big range of activities for you to choose from. So you'll see those. And also in the evenings, you'll see lots of different activities that will be available for you to do as well. So to give you a further example for the following week, so what would typically happen is that each week you'd have a beach visit. So on that week, it might be either Venice Beach or Santa Monica Beach. So I'm sure both beaches you've probably heard of. And then also we've got visits to Farmers Market, so the Museum and Arts Museum. And then also on the Tuesday, you'll see there is visits to Disneyland. So that is amazing and something you definitely wouldn't be missing when you go. So something really, really exciting. I should also mention, you might notice, for those who are very observant, you might notice that the program there starts on a Wednesday and typically ends on a Tuesday. So so we run our weekends a little bit differently. It just means that typically that means it's a bit cheaper flights in the middle of the week. And it means lots of these excursions. So Disneyland on a Tuesday, for example, is a lot quieter than Disneyland on a Saturday or Sunday in the middle of the summer. So it means you get a much better experience when you go to these locations. And then finally, for the third week, you can see things like Santa Barbara Beach, downtown LA, and then you'll have time to do some shopping at the Camarillo Premium Outlets Shopping Center, for example. So hopefully within that 2 or 3 week period, you can come for 2 or 3 weeks. Hopefully within that period, you get to see really a great deal of LA and Hollywood. You get to go visit some of the most famous beaches in the area as well. And then also some of the main and fantastic tourist destinations like Disneyland, for example, and like Six Flags. So, and not to mention that you will be learning English as well at the same time. And like, as I previously mentioned as well, meeting students from literally all around the world. So, when we're doing these programs, we want you to come and have a really enjoyable time, really to see everything that you can see. But like I said, to also learn something, learn something in terms of language, but also learn something about, working and meeting with other people from different countries. So, hopefully we'll be mixing you as much as possible with students from different places, whether that's Latin America, other parts of Europe, Asian countries, for example, as well. So yeah, hopefully a really positive experience for you there. So obviously that's Malibu, that's the Los Angeles side of things. So if we move from the west to the east, back over to New York, as you can imagine, New York is quite a different experience to being in Malibu. So in New York, we are based at College of Mount St. Vincent, which is another university campus. So it's about 30 minutes from Manhattan, so not very far from the center. But again, best of both worlds. It means you're really close to the center, but also you're living in a really nice, spacious campus as well, so which we can see on the screen there. So if you see the screen there, you can obviously, there's nice sports facilities, nice classroom facilities. That's one of the IT labs. Not all the classrooms look exactly like that. And then you'll see in the picture, we're right next to the Hudson River. So again, a beautiful place and a beautiful place to be spending evenings when you're not out in Manhattan visiting the city, for example. So in terms of the program organization, very similar to what you see in Malibu. So you'd see at least 3 excursions per week, full day trips. You'd also have your 15 hours of English lessons and some activities in the afternoons as well. So that the activities could be things like sports, arts, drama, a whole variety that you'd be able to choose from as well. So I'm sure when you imagine going to New York, there's certain excursions and destinations and trips that you all dream of that you'd all like to visit. So again, 4th of July, we'd be looking at having Independence Day celebrations. You'd also have the opportunity to do shopping in Soho, Little Italy, Chinatown, which is really famous parts of New York. But also you'd have walking tours around Manhattan as well, which would include things like Grand Central Terminal and Fifth Avenue, for example, which is extremely famous for shopping and such like as well. Again, you'd have a trip to Six Flags as an opportunity for those who want to do some adventure. You'd have the Art Museum Central Park, which is the huge park in the middle of Manhattan as well. And then other famous destinations like Ground Zero, which is quite an interesting place to go and quite sad in many ways for obvious reasons. but also places like Brooklyn Bridge. And then during the third week, for example, you'd also see things like Statue of Liberty, which I'm sure you've all heard of. And again, plenty of time for shopping as well, and to visit some of the other famous museums as well. So as we mentioned, in Malibu, you'd have kind of that combination between exciting excursion opportunities and destinations, plus beaches, plus a bit of shopping. In New York, you'd also have a bit of shopping time if you really wanted to, but you'd also have the excursions around Manhattan, but also things like Statue of Liberty as well. So what we're trying to give you is a really good combination of different trips, so you really get to see the maximum about from each of the different cities that you can enjoy as well. So that's a little bit about the United States. We've also got opportunities for you to spend your summer in the United Kingdom as well. So if you want to be a little bit closer to home. So in the United Kingdom, I'm sure probably most of you are quite familiar with the United Kingdom. We've got different schools around Oxford, London, Brighton, and Bournemouth as well. So we'll talk a little bit about Bournemouth as well, because that's one of the hottest summer destinations that you can go to in the UK. So if you see Bournemouth there, it's right next to the beach. I used to live in Bournemouth for 5 years, and I can say it's a beautiful place to be, and lots of people have a nice time swimming, sunbathing, cycling, everything you can imagine that you want to do at the beach, whether it's things like volleyball or playing football on the beach, or a little mini golf next to the beach as well. So there's lots of those sort of things that you can do as well. And so that is based at our school there in Bournemouth, which again is about a 10-15 minute walk from the beach. The accommodation is a combination between family accommodation and residential accommodation, which is all relatively close to the school as well. So you'd find your access to the school quite easy there. In the United States, I should mention that both campuses you'd be staying in twin room residential accommodation, so sharing with another student from another country, which is always really fun and really exciting as well. So in Bournemouth, like I mentioned, lots of activities around the beach, but also you'd have lots of activities and trips to other parts of the UK. So for example, during your time studying in Bournemouth, you would definitely have trips to London, for example. Oxford is another popular destination as well. And then you'd also have lots of local trips as well. So to some of the different beaches, to some of the nearby towns, for example, like Southampton, Windsor Castle as well, you can see is an option there. And then lots of activities locally as well. So keeping it fun and interesting. You'd also have your 15 hours of English per week as well. And again, like I said, mixing with lots of different students from all over the world. So really, depending on what you want to do, if it's something in the United States, we have a couple of really good options for you there. In the United Kingdom, we have the group option going to Bournemouth. And Bournemouth, like I said, is a beautiful place to spend the summer. But we also do have more options and more locations for you as well. So that's something you can always talk to the ATAS team with, and I'm sure they'll talk to you about seeing what your preferences are and finding something suitable for you as well. So as you mentioned a few times, that we've got students from all over the world, and I really do mean that. We've got students coming from most European countries coming to study with us, students from Latin America, from Brazil and Argentina, Mexico, for example. Students coming from different parts of Asia, like Taiwan and Japan. So really, really interesting and fun, and hopefully you'll have lots of opportunity to meet new people. And I know lots of you, speak multiple languages as well. So it's always a good opportunity to practice your languages as well. So those programs that we were just looking at, that's primarily for students who are below the age of 17. But we also do have more programs, which are programs if you want a bit more independence, if you're age 16 or 17 plus, where you can be more free to live and do what you like. So those programs are part of our King's English programs, which is our adult English language programs. And so they take place in 7 cities, so between the UK and the United States. So they are in Oxford, in London, in Bournemouth, and in Brighton. in Boston, New York, and Los Angeles. So Oxford, London, Bournemouth, Brighton, Boston, New York, and Los Angeles. And so I'll talk a little bit about each one briefly when we go through the videos and presentations. But again, what we'd always say is, look, every city is a little bit different. The programs are very similar in each city. So really a lot just depends on where you'd like to be, whether you'd like to be in a cool city like New York or somewhere cool like Boston, or whether you prefer to be in Oxford, a more academic and culturally historic city, for example, or somewhere like Bournemouth or Brighton, which is next to the beach. But we'll talk a little bit about those. And when Izzy shows you the video as well, you'll see a little bit more about the campuses for them as well. So for the junior programs we mentioned in Malibu, Bournemouth, and New York, we very much talked about excursions, trips, vacation style programs, but also on the English language programs for students aged 16 or 17, if you want to come. We have a good variety of programs. So we have those general English programs if you just want to improve. We have programs which are more developed for people who have specific career interests in mind. So things like business or finance or law, for example, as a few. And then obviously more and more students taking things like IELTS exams or TOEFL exams or Cambridge exams. We have a lot of students doing those as well. And then for those of you who may be interested in going to study at university in the UK or in other countries like US or European or countries in the Middle East, we also have students coming to do English preparation or academic preparation as well. So if you think you want to go and study in the UK or US, please do contact ATAS, and they will talk to you about what it is you specifically have in mind, and then they will be able to give you more specific recommendations than we have for this time in this presentation. So if you want to go and study as an adult in Los Angeles, you can go and do that. We have our school in Los Angeles, which is right in the center of Hollywood. So literally 5 minutes from the Hollywood Walk of Fame. So you could not be any more central. So you'll see a lot of famous signs, famous places around the city as well. And you will live the very cliche Hollywood life. So lots of cafes, lots of interesting people, lots of very cool people as well. So, and again, not far from the beaches. So a great place to spend your summer. We also have a location in Boston. So Boston's probably the most European city, I would say, in the United States. So in terms of the familiarity of the parks, the buildings, it looks like a European city, and the people are probably a bit more European, I suppose, still obviously American, but feel a bit more European than many of the other locations like California, where they're definitely Californians. But again, that's our location in Boston. We've New York, we've already seen, so I won't talk to you about New York, but it's the same campus where you could go and study in New York too. As we mentioned, we've also got our schools in the UK as well, so in London. And so you can see our school here in London, which is a area called Beckenham. It's not right in the centre, but that's a good thing because it means you get to live in a nice area of London, which is calm, relaxing, lots of nice cafes, restaurants, but still close enough to be able to go into London in the afternoons or evenings into the centre. And whether that's, you want to go to the parks, museums, theatres, whatever it might be. And we can always organise lots of trips and activities for those side of things too. So I'm sure all of you are probably quite familiar or heard of Oxford, the university city. So you will see lots of amazing buildings in Oxford, lots of very historical sites as well. So in terms of history, Oxford is a really great and interesting place to be there. And so we have a couple of campuses there in Oxford. So we also have Bournemouth, which is, we won't go through because we've already talked to you about. And then the final destination in terms of adult programs is our school in Brighton. So Brighton, Bournemouth, very similar in many ways, but also a little bit different. So Brighton is a very, very active city. Bournemouth is also active, but also a bit more calm in many ways. So again, some will depend on what type of city you want to be in. Brighton is also a very artistic city as well. And again, you can see our school in the photos there with lots of nice artwork and such like. So that's a little bit of an introduction about what our programs look like and our locations sound like. So obviously this presentation is just very short, but I hope it gives you a little bit of an initial idea about some of the things that you could be doing and some of the places that you'd be going to. But Dorota and Izzy will be able to give you lots more detail when you have calls or follow-up meetings after this presentation as well. So Izzy's going to show you a short video now, just to kind of show you a little bit more about the campuses, the schools, so you get a little bit more detail. And so you don't need to listen to me talking for a couple of minutes too. And I can drink a sip of my coffee. So Izzy, if you can play the video, that would be great.
Where can students learn English with King's? This training film provides an overview of our King's English schools and accommodation options available at each school. King's is based in the two most popular countries for learning English, the UK and the US. The exciting, student-friendly UK cities of Brighton, London, Bournemouth and Oxford, and a choice of iconic US locations, New York, Boston and Los Angeles. King's Brighton is ideally located right in the city centre and provides outstanding facilities for learning, socialising and living. Our school overlooks a beautiful park and is a short walk from the beach, shops and the famous Brighton Pier. It is a state-of-the-art facility, offering relaxed social areas and an excellent cafeteria for in-school dining. Single residential rooms are offered on campus, while a second residence, opening in September 2021, is a 1-minute walk away. Staying with a local, welcoming host family is also an option. King's London offers the best of both worlds, a safe, welcoming neighbourhood, yet just 20 minutes by train to central London. Our school offers a modern, spacious environment with a beautiful garden, a spacious cafeteria and bright social areas. It is 2 minutes walk from a large fitness centre and just 5 minutes from shops, cafes, a cinema and a lovely park. The modern and stylish King's apartments are just 15 minutes walk away, with single and twin rooms or with self-catering facilities. Many excellent host families are also within easy walking distance. King's Oxford is located in the very heart of Oxford, just a few minutes walk from all the world-famous attractions that the city has to offer. Our school occupies an impressive corner building over 5 floors. It includes spacious classrooms with smart boards, a lecture room and a stylish student lounge area. Shops and restaurants are just a short walk from the school. Our Oxford school is the official IELTS testing centre for the Oxford region and has been successfully preparing students for 25 years. A modern student residence is a 25-minute walk away. It offers single and twin ensuite bedrooms and self-catering facilities. There is also a choice of welcoming local host families. King's Bournemouth was founded in 1957 and offers modern facilities within beautiful buildings and grounds. The school is just 15 minutes walk to the town centre. There are bright, modern, well-equipped classrooms and plenty of space to socialise, both inside and out. The cafeteria serves excellent food which can be eaten outside in warmer weather. There is even a basketball court within the grounds. We offer a range of high-quality student residences. There are half-board options with single and twin rooms and a residence warden, as well as a choice of self-catering options for older students. Homestay is also available. King's Boston has the best location in the city. Our school is based on the campus of Fisher College on famous Beacon Street, just opposite Boston Common. It's within easy walking distance of the city's main attractions, as well as shops, restaurants and cafes. Our students can also meet and socialise with American students studying their degree programmes at Fisher College. There are 4 residential halls either on campus or very close by, located in historical Boston townhouses. Local host families are also available on request. King's New York is based at the College of Mount St. Vincent, a 70-acre campus overlooking the Hudson River, just 30 minutes from Manhattan. The views from campus are stunning. In fact, several movies and TV shows have been filmed here. There are modern facilities for learning and a well-equipped fitness centre. The campus also has an athletics field overlooking the river. There is a choice of modern residence halls right on campus, as well as a bright, popular cafeteria where students can meet with the American university students on campus. King's Los Angeles is located in the heart of Hollywood. We are between world-famous Sunset Boulevard and Hollywood Boulevard, and just minutes from all of Hollywood's world-class attractions, shops and restaurants. Our school has modern, spacious classrooms, student lounges and an Apple Mac computer centre. The wonderful garden is perfect for relaxing with fellow students after class. There is a fantastic residence right next to the school offering single and shared rooms, as well as the option of a welcoming Californian homestay experience. In summary, King's English schools offer fantastic facilities and a wide range of accommodation options. Our schools are situated in some of the most popular and welcoming cities for language travel: Brighton, London, Oxford or Bournemouth in the UK, New York, Boston or Los Angeles in the US. This training film is just an introduction. For much more information about each school destination, please visit our main website where you will find lots more photo galleries, videos, virtual smart tours, fact files and more.
Thank you, Izzy. So I hope everybody found that video interesting and useful, just to have an idea about what our schools are like. Like she said, obviously lots of information on our website, but also please do contact ATAS and they'll be able to help you with how to apply and find out more information specifically for you on how you can go. And that also, like I said, that also applies to those programs that we have in Bournemouth, Malibu, and also New York for the summer group programs as well. So Izzy's going to set up a little bit of a quiz now, just to make sure if you've been looking or finding something interesting. So we're going to do a quiz. There's 12 questions. So I believe you should be able to click on your screen for the correct answers. So question number 1, true or false? King's only does summer courses. Is that true or is that false? We'll give you a few seconds to answer there. Okay, counting down from 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So if you can stop your voting now on that question. And Izzy, can we go to question number 2, please?
Paul, please scroll your screen.
Do I need to scroll my screen? Okay.
Yes, thanks.
I see. Well done. Oh, there we go. There's all the questions. I didn't see there. Brilliant. King's Malibu summer program takes place at which university? Is that UCLA, Occidental, or Pepperdine University? Question number 3. During the Malibu program, how many excursions will you have per week? Is that 1 excursion, 2 excursions, or 3 excursions? Question number 4. True or false? During the Malibu program, you can go to Disneyland. Is that true or is that false? Question number 5. The New York program at the College of Mount St. Vincent is located next to which river? Is that the East River, the Hudson River, or the Delaware River? So you can take some time to answer these questions. Don't worry, we're not going to rush you too much. If you can see number 6 on your screen there as well, true or false? During the New York program, you can go to the Statue of Liberty. Is that true or is that false? Question number 7. I hope everybody will know this answer, but let's see. So what date is Independence Day? Is that the 1st of July, the 4th of July, or 7th of July? There's also lots of very famous movies named Independence Day as well, so you can always check those if you Google fast enough. So Bournemouth in the UK, where we have one of the summer programs, is that located next to the forest? Is that located next to the beach? Or is that located next to the mountains? So what would you be doing in the summer, do you think, at any of those locations? Question number 9, true or false? During the program, Bournemouth program, you can visit London. Is that true or false? So remember, you'll also do lots of other excursions as well, so during your stay. So King's has schools in Los Angeles, New York, and which other US city? So I hope you've all got this one. Question number 11. King's has schools in London, Bournemouth, Oxford, and which other UK city? Is that Brighton, Cardiff, or Edinburgh? So Brighton, Cardiff, or Edinburgh. And then the last question, last but not least, true or false, you can take exam courses like IELTS at King's. So is that true or is that false? So 12 questions there for you. So all multiple choice. So we'll just give you another 10 seconds or so just to go through and tick the answers that you might have missed. And then we can go through the next steps. Okay, so hopefully you've all finished the questions and got all, hopefully 100% of the answers. Izzy, do I need to click the stop sharing results?
Yes, I did do that. I stopped. Yes. And now I sharing the results, so you see how others vote. Attendees vote. How our attendees vote.
Perfect. Okay, so question number 1.
At the top, yes.
Yeah,
points.
Yeah, perfect. Good. So I think most people did pretty well. So question number 1, does King's only do summer courses? Well, that answer was false. We also do things like university programs, English language programs, and high school programs in the UK. King's Malibu summer program takes place at which university? That's Pepperdine University. So we tried to mention that a couple of times. How many excursions per week? That's 3 full-day excursions per week. So well done, everybody who noticed that and also heard me mention that as well. During your program, you can visit Disneyland. Yes, that is true. Really exciting. So you all have to get your autograph from Mickey Mouse and various other people. I think you see the Avengers and things now as well. New York is located next to the Hudson River. So well done, everybody with that. And genuinely, sincerely, it's really beautiful views. You'll love it. Statue of Liberty, yes, you will visit that during your stay in New York. So well done, everybody who put true. Independence Day, 4th of July. I think, to be honest, if any of you got that wrong, we would revoke your visa to the United States so you could never travel to the United States. So I think well done in getting that. So Bournemouth is located next to the beach, and Bournemouth Beach is probably the nicest and most beautiful beach in the UK. You'll also visit London, so yes, that's true. And also in terms of the schools, yes, Los Angeles, New York, and Boston. And London, Bournemouth, Oxford, and Brighton as well. Edinburgh, whoever put that, Edinburgh is a really nice city as well. So although you won't do it on your excursion, in your future life, you should definitely try to visit Edinburgh. It's a very nice city. And true or false, you can take exam courses like IELTS at King's. Yes, that is true as well. So more or less, whatever you're looking for in terms of language programs, whether it's exam programs, programs just to improve your English, or whether it's for business or future university reasons, then we should have options for you as well. So thank you, everybody, for listening to me. I hope you found that interesting. You found some of that exciting, and and appealing in terms of spending your summer as well. I think after the last 2 years of having COVID situation, I think probably everybody needs to kind of get back to that idea of traveling, meeting people from different countries, and enjoying some amazing experiences. So please do contact Dorota and Izzy at ATAS, and they will talk to you more about things in detail. So hopefully that was interesting for you. And then if anyone has any questions, please do feel free to put them in the chat box, and either in Polish, which Izzy can translate for me, or in English if you can as well. That would be great. Yep, so a question from Natalia. I was thinking about sending my daughter the course with accommodation as host family. In which location is this option available? So the main available location in the UK in terms of programs, we recommend for Bournemouth, where we have the summer program coming. And so you'd live with a family, which lives relatively close to the school, usually around 15-20 minutes walk from the school, sometimes a little bit closer. So whether you'd have your breakfast with the family, you'd have your lunches at the school, but then you'd go back to the family and have your dinner with the family as well. So that's a little bit of an idea about where to look. So host family is primarily in the UK. US is primarily residential accommodation. UK primarily host family. Dorota, did you want to add anything more about that? I mean, with experiences from your students in the past staying with host families in the UK?
Can I say in Polish?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okej. Tak mówiąc zupełnie szczerze, to powiem Państwu, że moją kochaną lokalizacją jest w ogóle Wielka Brytania. Kocham ten kraj i poza tym uwielbiam wybrzeże, więc absolutnie tutaj Paul mówił o Bournemouth, a Bournemouth to jest moje ukochane miasto, do którego uwielbiam wracać i lubię tam być. Więc osobom, które myślą o pierwszym wyjeździe na taki kurs językowy, bardzo bym rekomendowała Bournemouth, bo jest przepiękne, jest zielone, cudowne plaże, długie, piaszczyste, ciągnące się. A szkoła King's jest taką fantastyczną organizacją, która dba o każdy szczegół takiego wyjazdu, począwszy od kursu odpowiedniego poziomu. Mają też świetny miks narodowościowy, czyli osoby są z różnych krajów, uczą się języka na różnych poziomach, gdzie mają fantastyczną kadrę native speakerów i dobre warunki zakwaterowania. To będzie rodzina goszcząca, gdzie będziecie Państwo czuli się trochę jak w swoim domu, aczkolwiek wszystko będzie w języku angielskim. Może nie jak w domu, bo będzie trochę inny klimat tego miejsca i Anglia jest zupełnie inna niż Polska i właśnie temu służą te wyjazdy, żeby się po prostu bardziej poznać i otworzyć się też na inne kultury. I ten język angielski będzie używany przez cały dzień praktycznie, począwszy od rodziny goszczącej poprzez szkołę, uczestników, rówieśników zagranicznych i kadrę, która na miejscu będzie, więc jak najbardziej Bournemouth na tak i Anglia na tak. Możecie Państwo zadawać pytania w języku polskim, po angielsku, jak będzie Państwu wygodniej.
Tak, Dorotka, właśnie myślę, że teraz wyświetlam takie jedno pytanie do Ciebie skierowane.
Dobrze, dziękuję.
So Izzy, have we answered the second question, which is in Polish? Have you answered that one?
No właśnie chyba bym, tak jak powiedziałam tutaj właśnie przed chwileczką, to Bournemouth na pierwszy wyjazd jest fantastycznym wyjazdem, ponieważ jest to niespecjalnie też ogromne miasto. To też pytanie do Państwa, w jakim wieku jeszcze jest, do Pani Natalii, w jakim wieku jest dziecko, ale w Bournemouth mamy kursy dla osób takich, dla młodzieży między 14-17 lat, ale też dla osób 16+, które mogą trafić do grupy z osobami dorosłymi i trochę się te programy od siebie różnią, ale na pierwszy wyjazd, taki wyjazd do mniejszego miasta typu Bournemouth jest, wydaje mi się, że świetną lokalizacją i nad morzem, tak, więc można połączyć troszeczkę ten wyjazd z wakacjami, więc na pewno nie Londyn, raczej coś mniejszego bym polecała.
Tak, Pani Natalia odpowiada, że córka jest w wieku 14 lat.
No to akurat ten wyjazd byłby, wydaje mi się, bardzo taki pasujący do tego wieku uczestnika. Poza tym w okresie wakacji my do Bournemouth też wysyłamy naszych opiekunów, także do Pani wiadomości, że dziecko też by nie było tak rzucone na głęboką wodę zupełnie, ponieważ byłby tam nasz polskojęzyczny opiekun, który nadzoruje naszą młodzież, tak, w razie jakichś powiedzmy problemów na miejscu, zawsze to dziecko może się z polskojęzyczną osobą szybciej porozumieć i załatwić niektóre kwestie niż po angielsku. To tak przy okazji. Jest to wyjazd zaopiekowany też.
Okay, I can do this one if it's in English. At what age could I send child for the summer course? So if we were thinking in the United States, the Malibu summer course is available for students from 10 to 17. In New York, that is age from 12 to 17. In Bournemouth, that is 14 to 17. But if you want to go to the UK and your child is younger than 14, then we also have other programs and locations available too, which are on residential boarding schools as well. So again, if you contact Dorota or Izzy, they can go through some of those options with you, ones which we haven't talked about today. One thing that I probably should have mentioned earlier, obviously when we talked about these locations, we're talking about lots of exciting excursions, activities, and also an opportunity to mix with other people and learn language. But also from a parent's perspective, look, as a school, we understand that, you're sending your children to study with us. So we also have a responsibility to look after your children as well, to make sure that they are happy, healthy, and enjoying themselves as well, and that they are safe as well. So, it's a big part of what we do is, obviously we have to take that responsibility extremely seriously. So yes, we talk a lot about the fun and the exciting things, but also there is the practical aspect to make sure that your children are going to be looked after. So for the group travel to Malibu, to New York, and also to Bournemouth, then obviously there is King's staff supporting that as well. But also if you wanted to send your children to any other location as well, we'd also still be looking after them and making sure that they are safe as well. We have lots of policies in place. So if there are things that you want to ask specifically, we can send you more information about what that would look like as well, to make sure your children are going to be happy, healthy, and enjoying themselves, but safe as well at the same time.
Panie Arkadiuszu, jeśli chodzi o wycieczki w Bournemouth, to te wycieczki odbywają się takie całodniowe weekendy, więc na pewno jest cała sobota taka na wyjazd poza miejsce, w którym odbywa się kurs językowy, więc będzie jakaś wycieczka na pewno do Londynu albo do Oxfordu, taka całodniowa. Oprócz tego odbywają się wycieczki półdniowe w tygodniu po najbliższej okolicy, w okolicach Bournemouth, więc jedna półdniowa plus jedna całodniowa w tygodniu jest zazwyczaj na takim kursie.
Was that a question related to weekends in Bournemouth?
Yes, it's about the excursion in Bournemouth.
Good. My Polish is improving. Yes. I would also, so as you mentioned about those excursions there, but also generally Bournemouth is a great place to be in the summer as well. So typically on the Sundays, you'll have some free time to enjoy Bournemouth as a city as well and enjoy the beach too. So yeah.
Dokładnie.
Czekamy na pytania. Na razie nie widzę, żeby ktoś tutaj pisał, więc to jest ten moment dla Was. Jeśli macie jakieś pytania, to zachęcamy, zadawajcie je. Jeśli nie w tym momencie, to ktoś pisze, to oczywiście odpowiemy na wszystkie pytania. Tutaj myślę, że Dorota jest ekspertką w tej dziedzinie, więc to ona będzie odpowiadać, więc zapraszamy do kontaktu przez naszą stronę albo przez maila KURSY.ATAS.PL, więc jeśli nie w tym momencie, to zapraszamy drogą mailową, przez stronę telefonicznie zapraszamy. Jeszcze widzę, że ktoś pisze, więc jeszcze damy sobie chwilkę. Okay, one more question.
Pisze Iza, ja piszę adres strony, żeby było Państwu łatwiej znaleźć stronę z kursami, z wyliczeniami, z terminami.
Okay, one more.
Ale pisze ktoś jeszcze.
And one more question for Dorota, I believe.
To nie do końca pełne jest to pytanie, powiedzmy, bo 17+ to jest osoba, która może brać udział w kursie językowym takim młodzieżowym, bo tak jak Paul powiedział, mają grupy wiekowe takie młodzieżowe do 17 roku życia, gdzie uczestniczka może być zaopiekowana, mieć wszystko w cenie, wycieczki, zajęcia pozalekcyjne, opiekę, nadzór, ale już zahacza też o kursy językowe dla osób dorosłych, które King's ma dla osób 16+, Tutaj to wygląda troszeczkę inaczej, wtedy wybiera sobie tylko i wyłącznie kursy językowe plus do tego dobieramy zakwaterowanie i ma trochę więcej taka osoba luzu, decyduje o większej ilości zajęć pozalekcyjnych, decyduje sama, z czego chce korzystać, wybiera sobie z propozycji, która po prostu Kings propozycje różne dla uczestników ma na każdy dzień pobytu, tudzież weekend, tylko z tych wyjazdów, z tych atrakcji wybierają już uczestnicy na miejscu bezpośrednio w recepcji szkolnej. Także te wyjazdy są trochę różnorakie. Tutaj już musiałabym z Panią dokładnie na temat wyjazdu porozmawiać, żeby wyjaśnić te różnice między kursami językowymi, jakie Kings oferuje. Tak, w zasadzie dla młodzieży te kursy mają 15 godzin zegarowych nauki w tygodniu. W przypadku osób takich starszych, 16+, mogą uczestniczyć również w kursach bardziej intensywnych. Tak. Opiekun grupy uczestniczy w zajęciach razem z uczniami, zajęciach pozalekcyjnych, ponieważ lekcje organizuje szkoła językowa Kings i tu lekcje wyłącznie prowadzone są przez speakera, tylko i wyłącznie w języku angielskim. Ten nasz opiekun, który jedzie z grupą, jest tam tylko do opieki nad naszą grupką, która ma taki nadzór dodatkowy z naszej strony. Natomiast wszelkiego rodzaju atrakcje, lekcje, wszystko organizuje szkoła językowa i również jest kadra szkolna anglojęzyczna na wszystkich zajęciach. Ale będzie trochę czasu dla siebie również. W czasie lekcji nasz opiekun nie ma obowiązku być na żadnej z lekcji, więc w tym czasie po prostu ma wolny czas. Bardzo proszę.
Okej, dobrze. Myślę, że powoli będziemy zmierzać ku końcowi. Jeśli tak mówię, zachęcamy do kontaktu tutaj z naszą tutaj Dorotą z działu Biura Wyjazdów Językowych, która rzetelnie odpowie na wszystkie pytania. My w takim razie będziemy już powoli kończyć. Paul, thank you very much for your presentation, for your time. It was great. Thanks a lot.
You're very welcome, and thank you both for hosting us, and thank you everybody for joining and all for your questions. So that's really good. If you do have more questions, please do contact Dorota Izzy. If it's something very detailed, then obviously we can help you as well. But yeah, after 2 years of COVID, we really look forward to seeing everybody again this summer and to see all our Polish friends as well. And just on a final note from me, obviously it is difficult times in Europe as well. And I just want to say thank you as well again to all of our Polish friends for everything you're doing for all of our Ukrainian friends, because I know it is amazing what you're doing. I have a lot of Ukrainian friends, a lot of Ukrainian colleagues as well that we work with, and Ukrainian students, and we all know how much you are doing there in Poland to help everybody. So I just really want to say thank you so much for everything you're doing that. And again, thank you for joining us today, and hopefully see you in the summer.
Great. Thanks.
Thank you, Paul.
Thanks.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Dobrze, myślę, że jest czas, żebyśmy zakończyli. Bardzo Państwu dziękuję za udział w dzisiejszym spotkaniu. No i do usłyszenia, mam nadzieję. Do widzenia.
Dziękuję.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye bye.